years ago now, we founded this organization called RENEW. And what RENEW does is help students define their purpose, their meaning, and provides them with the skills and the opportunities that they're missing to transform themselves first and then transform their communities. And so we have this theory of change that fits perfectly into what Ari was talking about and what Julie mentioned and what all of you really raised here is we believe that it starts with this very deep level of connection. You have to connect to a person, a place, a thing. I had this connection. I went on to connect with Uswege in this very deep and personal way. But the most important connection at the end of the day was really this connection to purpose and passion. And through the work we did together, we realized this notion of youth development and transformation that people talk about so much, there's no way we're not going to commit ourselves to this and find a way to make this work. And that was the connection that we really want to talk about tonight. And so RENEW sought out to put together these after-school programs, these workshops. The way that we operate is really through a 2-week workshop model, and it can also be a 1-week day camp. We go into high schools, as they call it, secondary schools in Tanzania. And we provide the students with all of the skills that we don't see them being taught in schools. And the skills that even students here aren't being taught, but we think that they should be. Emotional intelligence, decision-making, communication skills. We don't need students to know how to speak, we need them to know how to listen compassionately and actively listen to another person and understand them. We don't need them to just be able to assess somebody's emotions. We want emotional intelligence, self-awareness, empathy, self-realization. Decisions that they make need to be conscious, you know, in every shape and form. And so we don't treat ourselves as teachers, we treat ourselves as facilitators and friends, and that's the first thing we tell our students. Let us kind of reverse this hierarchical structure that you see as the teacher down to the student and treat this however you kind of see best fit to get the most out of it. So participate as much as possible, discuss as much as possible. We're asking you guys to do the same thing tonight. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to interrupt us. We're gonna try to interject some exercises here that makes this a little bit more fun and you can get a little bit of a taste of what it is we do with the students. And we believe what we give these students is way above what other people might expect they're capable of. And we've seen some incredible impact when you push that kind of content onto these young people who are definitely not too young to understand it and to take it and run with it and have it change their lives. So what we're gonna do is I wanna introduce Uswege to introduce himself a little bit, and he's gonna talk a little bit about connection. I wanna talk to you guys a little bit more about transformation and then how that all of that kind of culminates into change, this thing that we're all looking to get. Then at the end of the evaluation has done as far as impact on the students, what he's seen on the ground in Tanzania. And we'll kind of conclude here by telling you guys where we're heading and what our vision is. So welcome, Uswege. And as they say in Swahili, when the speaker comes up, karibu.
Asante sana. Asante sana. Thank you so much. If my mom found me starting or beginning to talk to a group of people without saying thank you, we're gonna become enemies. So asante sana is a very important thing where I'm coming from. Yeah, so first of all, I would like to my thanks and appreciation to all of you for responding positively and joining us today, but also to Judy, you know, she's been doing a wonderful job. But also would like to express my sincere thanks to Pollination Project. You know, okay, they might like not be sure or like not to know the impact of the grants that they are providing to startup organization. You know, like how it helped them to gain their confidence, how it make them be able to try out the idea and put it into action, and like make us able to and benefit with something that is out of it. So my name is Uswege Mwakapango, as my brother and my friend Adam say, from Tanzania. I just arrived from home this month. Was it a
few weeks ago?
Yeah, a few weeks ago. And the biggest reason why I'm here is because of the feedback that we have been receiving from different people who have participated in our workshop. We work with youth, as Adam said, and we believe that by doing that, we are supporting young people to create solutions to their local problems. You know, so people say, hey, you guys, you're working on trying to inspire and empower young people to find their purpose, but also give them skills, you know, to be able to like transform that purpose to the community. You know, this is not just a challenge in Tanzania. You know, it's like a worldwide challenge. Why not trying out somewhere? So Adam said, oh yeah, I would like to try it at home. You know, so that is the only reason why I'm here. Next month, we'll be piloting RENEW leadership program in Phoenix and see how it is going to work out. Adam is going to talk more about that. So I really appreciate for that. I'm new in US. I'm still learning about culture, like how to interact with people, because you know it is like very different here. Like things are very different. Where I'm coming from, we are used to living as a community. Like whatever, like when you find someone in the street, when she's a girl or she's a woman or man or boy, they are your relative. That is how we treat each other. You know, but like things differ, you know, like based on culture, how people are raised. So I'm really grateful to have Adam as my brother, as my friend, but I'm also very grateful that his family have been playing a very big role, the same as my mom when I get back in Tanzania, we always do. So thank you so much. I don't know, I would like to jump on talking a little bit about Connect, mention a little bit about it. And thank you because you helped me a lot with information that I can use as an example to justify what I'll be talking about. But I also really like the way Ari started. He helped a lot with preparing a very good environment for us to be able to share with you what you would like to share, you know, because we believe that people, they feel belonging when they are connected to something. You know, you can't feel connected to something. You can't feel connected where you believe that you don't belong. You know? Okay, so how do people feel they belong somewhere? You know, it have a lot of things to do with connection. But before I start to talk about connection, I would like us to do a quick exercise, if possible. If you may let me do that. Yeah. So I would like you to write down some few things. So please prepare your piece of Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
So we're gonna do like a very simple thing. I would like you to reflect on how you are currently spending your time, your day. What things do you do? You just write down like, okay, do this is how I spend my day. Just like point out like a very few things, just 1 minute or for 30 seconds if possible. How do you spend your day? Okay. Now, I'll also like you to continue by identifying your role as a person. What is your role as a person, or like your life goal as an individual, and things that makes you happy. Just write down those, like your life role as a person, or like goal, and things that makes you happy. Okay, thank you so much. That should make the end of our little exercise for now. I'd like you to ask yourself is to relate how you spend your time as an individual with your life role or your goals. You just relate in your mind. You don't write. You don't write. It's not your written exercise. You just relate. How do you spend your time versus your life role or goals or kind of person that you would like to become? Like, okay, if before I die, I would like to accomplish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, these are things that make me happy. And what do you see? Do you see yourself investing a lot of time in things that you love to? Okay, the answer might be yes or no. How much time within a day do you invest in building, making sure that you are achieving your life goal or your role? Okay, that is your question. I just want you to be able to make that relationship, because it is very important as explaining the connection, what we'll be talking about. You know, it's very important. Okay, but another thing is that I would like us to ask ourselves is, how do we choose to spend our day that way? What will drive us from spending our day that way? You have written down few things that you love, like things that makes you happy. What drives you to think that those things can make you happy? Okay, these are the questions that I would like ourselves to ask. Then as you ask yourself, I know you get the answer in your head, you know, and I like that kind of thinking. After that, I will jump completely into talking about connection. And when I'm talking about connection, I'm talking about connection with the belief that connection is the source or the influence of everything, all experience that you are facing right now. Whether you are happy, whether you feel pain in your heart, that pain is the factor or influence of the kind of connection that we make every day. But at the end of this talk, I would like us to be able to come up with a plan or commitment, of which maybe a lot of you have already have or you already know, you know, to come up with a commitment on how much do we really need to be connected with the self, you know, with ourselves. And when I'm talking about ourselves, I mean, you know who you really are, you know? And when you're talking of connection, you can't connect with nothing. You need to connect with something. Something has to be there for you to be able to connect, you know? And so it is for you to identify that source of connection, you know? So when I was giving you the exercise, I wanted you to reflect, like, how do you connect? Because the action that you take every day help you to connect with something else. But where do your connection come from? Which is the drive of your connection? Is people out there drive you to connect? Or is it something that is within your heart, direct you to develop connections? Build the connection as the days come, or you build the connection based on the voice that is in your heart that is telling you that this is the kind of person that you really are, you know? And for you to keep on being this kind of person, these are the network, relationship, connection that you need to be building to get to where you want to get, or for you to sustain the reputation and the kind of life you would like to live. When I was thinking of, like, okay, how am I going to communicate this connection? You know, I was also like reading a lot of things. And I came across that connection is the relationship in which a person, a thing or idea is linked into something else, into something. So there is no connection if there is no link. There should be a link. So people will ask me always, how do you think connection is important? Where did you come to connection? As Adam said, we have been facing a lot of challenge, whether it is in school, whether it is in a community, with having a group of people who we always name them irresponsible or inactive, or they want to be pushed every day for them to work, you know. But I was asking myself as I'm growing up, he's a growing up person, she's a grown up lady, you know, how is it possible that they are irresponsible? How do you need to push your child to go to school or to study at home when you expect them to value that? Because in your mind, you think education is very important, you know, for their life. How is that not happening? And what I find out from looking at myself, from looking at my friend, from looking at what we do, is that people will never be happy, will never be active, will not have energy unless they are connected, unless they feel connected with something. People will never understand a certain subject in a class if they don't see its applicability. They don't see that it can be no connection between what is being taught here with what is happening in the community. You know, it is that connection that bring out this motivation, bring actions. You know, so if the connection is what bring action, maybe the biggest thing that we need to ask ourselves is, what drive connection? What are driver of connection? You know, what are drivers of connection? Maybe that might be a very big thing. You know, okay, connection. If you have any additional input, you can't connect with something that you don't love it. You can't connect with something that you're not passionate with. You can't connect with something that you are not interested with it. So what does this tells me or tells us? That you are the driver of connection. You are the source. You are the determinant of connections. And connection happen as we take action. Whenever you take action, consciously or unconsciously, you establish a connection. So the question and the place that we need to be very conscious is your action. Is your action helping you to build connection that is positive to you as a person and to others? You know? Okay, we're having if you people, for example, at work, they are really thinking of motivating their staff by increasing salary, you know, checking on like this mandatory thing, you know, but they're ignoring that these employees, they have their talent, you know. These employees, they have their ideas too. They need to be seen. You know, they are ignoring the part that we need to build a connection with these guys. They need to feel valued. They need to be seen, you know, for them also to develop emotion, connection with what they do, or with me as their boss, or with me as their friend. Adam, he explained about like how we became friends. Our personal experience, this pain in our heart that Adam and I share. I belong. Adam and I, we belong together. We share this same experience. We share this same pain, and that is how our connection came. That is how we became friends. So how do you develop your connection? How do you grow your relationship? How do you grow your relationship? Adam and I, we share this love for youth development. Why? Because Adam and I, we are young. I can't speak for him, but I went to college, not because I really know why I was going to study project planning and management, you know, but because someone told me that if you go to that institute, you will have very good position to get a job when you finish. You know, when you finish it, you're going to be in a very good position to get job. But I didn't know even like why I was doing what I was doing really. You know, I was doing things for a job. I was doing something for a job. So I didn't have like a goal that I'm studying this so that I can become this kind of person. Because you need to ask yourself, what would happen if I graduated, I have my degree and I didn't get a job? Then nothing would happen. But my experience with volunteering with different organizations makes me to question, if I have people who are creating organization, developing this curriculum, educating people about this, what am I going to do with my, you know, I couldn't find the answer. I couldn't find the answer. I went back to my university and asked my fellow student, hey man, why are you studying gender and development? And all of them, they will say, oh, it is very marketable out there. It's very marketable. But we all agree that money is not the source of happiness. Exercising who we are is the source of everything. You know, so helping someone to identify their purpose, help them to figure out what they can start about so that they are able to transfer what is in their heart, their talents, to the community is everything that we need. We all agree that people are more productive or people are creative when they work on something that they really love. But how many times do we teach our kids, our friends, people we love,
to identify their purpose, to identify their talents, to be able to make decisions that will help them to become the kind of person that they would like to become. You know, we have been living a life of fixing ourselves. We fix ourselves every day, but we forget that we have our strengths. We have areas that we are more stronger maybe than anybody else. You know, at the end of the day, we keep on producing a community of common people, because everybody wants to become a lawyer, everybody wants to become a doctor, everybody wants to become, you know, but we forget that we have this interest in our heart, and we can listen to this interest and make something out of it. You know, so the goal of Adam and I today is to please ask you to build the connection with what is in your heart. Try to listen to that voice in your heart. Try to create connection, relationship between what is in your heart and what community needs. Use what is in your heart to get connected with the community. But at the same time, as you know that communication begins here, and different people have different interests, have different passion, it is important to respect someone's passion and respect for connection to occur. You know? Because the more you like to get connected to something, the more other people like to connect with you, maybe in a very different way, so that they can make something out of it. So we need each other. That is why we are in this room. Try to develop your connection as much as possible, starting from here, but also respect connections that other people are building, because connection, as we connect, we bring and produce something that maybe wouldn't be there if we could not take it out and make something out of it to happen. After saying those few words, lastly, I would like you to ask yourself, from the first exercise that we did, reflect on how you spend your day. Do you think what you do daily have any connection with your passion? Okay, you have the answer. What do you do? How you spend your day every day? Is it helping you to be fulfilled? Is it helping you to define who you really are? Or you are denying the true self part and live other people's life? Because that is one among the big things that is happening in the world. Now people want to live life so that they can impress their community. If our forefather was living that way, maybe there will not be any development. People will be doing everything. So please try to listen to your heart, try to listen to your passion, sit down within a day, establish this pattern of relationship based on what it is in your heart, create something unique that will serve the world. Thank you.
You know, every time Uswege says something new I've never heard before, so I'm always a little taken back. And so that was wonderful. I think that I want to remind everybody too that oftentimes the students that we work with can be coming from these very disadvantaged backgrounds, these low income backgrounds. So as moved as you felt while Uswege was speaking, imagine the impact that that can have on a young person who's never been given those kind of roles before. And never been asked to forge that type of connection. Yeah,
I have
Julie.
a question.
Sure.
How related to the work that you guys do in Tanzania, how different is what you guys are doing, and how received is it by the community? Like, is it something easy for you to sell to the community that you're gonna do this, or are they just kind of like, this is really weird?
I'd really like for Uswege to answer that question, since it's his community and his culture that we're.
Okay. One among the things that you would like to know about me is that I talk a lot. I always try really hard to manage myself. You know, yeah. So thank you so much, Julie, for asking that question. It's wonderful. Okay. What we do, especially in Tanzania, it is received very well. And I can say maybe that is the reason why we exist so far. You know, after getting, I don't know, that grant that we get from Pollination project was our starting point. You know, so it gave us voice to the community. It make people see what we can do, what our program can do. Adam was very surprised because we did the program first in a school that I started at, you know, and we had only one teacher to support us, you know, participating in it. But we wanted all teachers, if possible, to be able to see what their students are learning so that they can help to foster that, you know. But at the end of the program, because we provide always handout at the end of the program, with like everything that we've been teaching, and all the teacher wanted one. Oh my God, this is so great. My God, why didn't I participate? You know, so those kind of things like always is what is moving us forward. So it is well received, you know, parents, teachers. Before I leave, I left my country, a lot of schools had been like coming to me saying, hey, we heard about your program from this school. Can you come to do the same? You know, to my school. As soon as I get here, I ask my brother that, okay, if we are doing a program with 20 kids, young people from foster family, I would like you to like take me there so that we can learn more about that. I said, oh yeah, that is a good idea. And why is that? Why would we do that every day? For us, the nature of our program will never bear impact unless we know our participant very well. We need to know your background very well to be able to unlock whatever challenge that is stopping you from excelling, from like voicing out your ideas, you know. And when we get there and like sit with like that organization, I was very surprised because they expressed this love and trust in what we do to the extent that like I was out of words. So at the end of the day, I told Adam when we get out the meeting, I said, man, this thing is more responsible now. I didn't know that these guys think of us this way. And now it's like my chest is like tightening that they are counting on us creating something, you know, new for their kids. You know, it's created like the sense of responsibility, you know. So it is well supported, and we are grateful for that. Thank you.
Yeah, and so to kind of rewind back here a second, what Uswege is talking about with this organization. Now we're at the point where we're finally going to be able to pilot this project and this program in the U.S. for the first time. So we've been able to reach 700 students in Tanzania at 4 schools since we founded 2 years ago. And I'm going to let Uswege kind of circle back to some of the impact that we've seen in Tanzania. But he started by saying a lot of people came to him and said, hey, can we get this at our school? Well, we've also had website requests and contact requests and emails from people in Nigeria and Laos and all these different places. Can you bring this to our country? And so it really touched us, and it validated what we're doing. it proved that not only do schools need this, but organizations might need it to complement their projects. So every student that we've reached so far has been in collaboration with another nonprofit in collaboration. And what we found is that sometimes the capacity to deliver that programming isn't there for the organization, or the programming might just be unique or different. And we're happy to join forces with somebody else to help identify students. So what we did here in Arizona, where I'm sure as everybody knows, faces its own education crisis and problem with making sure its children are educated and ranks among the lowest state. We decided to partner with an organization that works with foster care children. So they have hundreds of students in foster homes throughout the valley in Phoenix, Arizona, spanning a really wide distance, and they identified 20 students for this pilot project. So like I said, next month, it's actually next week. Next month, it's in July, a week from Monday, we'll be starting a 1-week camp with 20 foster kids in Phoenix, Arizona. So that's really one of the biggest reasons that Uswege came to join us here, because here I was in March 2013 piloting our project in Tanzania. And here he is 2 years later piloting our project here in Arizona.
That's
so
amazing.
That's something really special for us. And so I want to sort of take off where Uswege left off with connection, and he did a really wonderful job of explaining how we start our workshops with students. And why do we do that? I think he did a really good job of why is connection important. So I won't spend much time, but I will say that it's the last line Uswege used. We need to know our participants so well to unlock them. We had seen so many educational approaches with these organizations, and it's almost like they were jumping ahead, and the student didn't really know what direction they were headed in. And so this first starting point of unlocking that student's potential, helping them identify their purpose, the meaning that's inside of their life, everything that Uswege really mentioned here, is how all of our workshops start. So it's really an emphasis on goals and dreams, if it was to be given a title, but it's something much deeper than that as far as connection and purpose and meaning is concerned. And so where do we go from there? We then kind of dive into these topics like emotional intelligence, decision-making, communication skills. And I want to do a little exercise again with everybody, so I hope there's a lot of room left on the paper. But I'll mention from the Gandhi, and it's happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. And we always mention that quote in our workshops because now you have this purpose. Some people call it your why statement, your reason for being. You can kind of see a vision for yourself. But this is where all work with gets stuck. And I think this is where we as adults get stuck in life. How do we get there? Now I hear this voice that's speaking to me. Now, how do I bring that connection into my life in a realistic way? The challenges that we face are not that different halfway around the world. You know, the biggest problem that we experience as young people is that constantly we are being fed this message from society that we can't do what we love while also making a living. We can't inject that purpose and that meaning into our life. It's just not realistic to balance and marry the two. Maybe our family tells us we shouldn't pursue that dream. Maybe our partner tells us that, you know, you need to put food on the table. And these things are real concerns. They can't be ignored. And to some extent, that's the society that we live in. But how do we overcome that? How do we push beyond that? And for a young person, how do you unlock those possibilities that they might have put down on the shelf because they didn't think it was worth pursuing? And so we call this part of the workshop transformation. How do you transform that connection and purpose into change for yourself and for your community? Inner change to outer change in the world. How do you realize this? And what we tell you is you're going to leave this workshop with a real strategy of the change you want to create inside of yourself and the change you've identified to create in the community, and an action plan for how to actually realize those types of change. And so I just want to do a short exercise with everybody. And this is focused on really what's a small segment of what we do, but why do we choose these 3 sections of emotional intelligence, communication, and decision making? There's a broad spectrum of areas and topics we could discuss, but we believe that if the students can think from their purpose, you know, we've established this connection. If students can think from their purpose, speak from their purpose, and act from their purpose, and have those three elements in harmony, we believe and we have seen that some real impact can come out of that. So what I'd like everybody to do is write a really simple sentence that starts with, in order to grow, ... And I'm going to give you a couple different topics here that you can work with to maybe fill your thinking and fill your mind. In order to grow spiritually, I will blank. In order to grow creatively, I will blank. In order to grow emotionally, I will blank. What kind of practice would you introduce into your life? What is it that you want to do? How do you want to grow? If you were to look back at your life and say, this is the perfect me, or look ahead to your life, this is the perfect person that I want to become, what would your emotional intelligence look like? How would your decision-making process continue? How would you communicate differently than what you're doing today or what you have done in the past? Maybe take a couple minutes here.
So spiritually, what we'll go to?
Yeah, spiritually, creatively, and emotionally. And feel free to add your own if you think of different segments of your life that you want to introduce.
You guys want some water?
I'd love to know too. We should ask you guys for a favor here. The way that we run our is, I think, very different. We try to crowdsource as much content as possible. So we're going to ask for a small favor. I'm going to let you guys finish this particular exercise, but we want to share some of the inspiration created by you guys in this room with our students on next Monday. So after we're done here, I'd love to ask you guys if there are any areas of your life you thought of other than those three that I mentioned that you'd like to improve, that maybe we can bring into our exercise outside of this spiritual, creative, emotional elements. Feel free to share anything with us. So,
Family.
What's that?
Family.
Family. Great.
Psychological.
Psychological.
Physically.
Physically.
Professionally.
Professionally.
Financially.
Community. Financially. Mm-hmm.
Relationally,
Mm.
not just family, but all relationship.
Not sure if I remember everything. Family, relationship, financial, psychological.
Community. Physically. Relationally.
Professionally.
Heart.
Heart.
Mm. Professionally. Yeah, professional. Heart. Is there any more that we missed? Looks like everybody's kind of wrapping up. I'm going to push you right into a second exercise here. I want you to think exactly, without changing your frame of thought here, exactly as you thought about how you want to grow yourself. Now I want you to replace the word yourself with your community. What would you do to transform your community?
So in order to grow spiritually, or for the community,
You can interpret it however you like. What does your perfect community look like? Let's put it that way. If you were to close your eyes and open them back up, what does the world look like in a perfect world to you? What is maybe the one issue that drives your connection? What do you want to see change? You know, we talk a lot about vision statements for nonprofits. What's your vision statement for the world? What does it look like? Does anybody want to, brave enough to share theirs? Feel free to take your time. Yeah,
More diversity.
more diversity.
Healthy, environmentally balanced, and free of hatred, hunger, and violence.
A just, equitable, sustainable world where everyone is supported and is left out.
Anybody else?
I think there needs to be little pockets throughout the residential and merchant communities for people of all ages to be able to intermingle and just be, so that working parents don't have to worry about what their kids are up to in the summers. They could, all different age groups could hang out, grandparents could be, you know, and it's a community that I always hear about in Africa, can be, you know, watching the children, and nobody has to move, and they can do what I do what I love. I'm one of the lucky ones, but it's very hard to do what you love and make enough money to give me time to be with my kids. So that's what I think.
More spaciousness for creativity, interaction, and reflection. More time to develop things like you're developing.
If everyone woke up with the mantra, how can I be of assistance?
what was it?
How can I be of assistance?
A human presence on the planet, which regenerates soil, soul, spirit, just, sustainable, and fulfilling.
I really agree with these two responses in regards to space, because I find that to grow myself spiritually, I really need is more time and more space inside my mind that is allowed the peace of creativity to create. Instead of, you know, always busy, working, I just need quiet time. So in the same way, the community needs quiet space and quiet time so that they can come there and just relax and practice without telling them how or what they should be doing, just a place, a space.
A world committed to seeing and honoring the humanity in all beings.
People feel feel empowered and appreciated by their connection.
Observing a silent connection together globally, open source sharing of creativity, like daily, like I'm just like imagining like this like artistic explosion that we're sharing globally together instead of just like waiting for special moments. And sharing vulnerability globally in the mistakes that we make as countries, and like celebrating each other's imperfection.
Oh,
And learning from each other.
Addressing things and circumstances around that are not in natural order.
Stop exploiting others, non-human and human.
Unlimited access to education and justice, meaning the courts and schools, regardless of income.
Slightly more specific tangent, but I wrote, in order to develop a community in a healthy way, fathers must be trained to be engaged with their children, healthy, emotionally whole, professionally secure, or spiritually grounded. The reason I said that is because so many of the problems that we have in South Africans are directly linked to the absence of fathers or fathers who are as functional as what I want them to be.
Yeah, thinking of kinds of proliferation of listening and love that enables people to actually discover their gifts and their purpose and be able to give them the world. And so having a welcoming environment to actually receive those gifts is wonderful.
Anybody else? Thank you guys for sharing. I hope that everybody, the lesson sort of lends to itself. I hope everybody saw that within that, there was a lot of, and I didn't ask you necessarily what your personal transformation was, but I could hear, especially in your answer and in sharing their answers as well, that this personal growth and transformation is then a reflection of the transformation we want to occur in the time. And if we can kind of take our slow steps from this idea of connection and purpose and what is the one issue that drives our heart to pump and our mind to think, and creates the words that we speak and how we act, we can transform that into an idea. And so what we do in our workshops is we take the students through that purpose identification and their connection. We then bring them through this transformation, which lasts almost an entire week, of really deep, intense, vulnerable, personal understanding of who they want to become, ask them questions they've never been asked before, and to think in ways they've never thought. And we take them to this place of, okay, great, now what? Now what do I do with all of this information? Now my heart is filled, my mind might be free, but now where am I going to go with this? And this last part is what we call change. And we ask the students exactly what we just asked you guys. What does your perfect world look like? How do you want to change the world? Don't think small, think big. Resources are not an issue. There's no restriction on money. If you had all the money and resources and connections and people and places in the world, what would you do and how would you do it? And so our way of realizing that is these really special, deep, touching projects that are created, developed, and implemented by the students, these community service projects. And that's the kind of the last part of our program. How do we give the kids the confidence now that they need to see that their ideas can be realized and their dreams can turn into reality? And that sounds like something that's so obscure to them. But when they can see that moment of their idea of changing the community in this way actually happened and nobody was there to hold my hand to make it happen, is what we think about when we use the word empower. you know, and many different things. But to us, you can't empower somebody else. They empower themselves. They have to be the ones to kind of lift that idea, and sometimes it's very deep down inside of them, but when you get it, these students can come together in incredible ways. So what I'm gonna do is invite Uswege back up to kind of explain at least one example of a project the students created, and some of the impacts it's had, you know, on the student's life as far as both parts of this program, both personal transformation and community transformation. And please, if anybody has any questions or wants any clarification or has any ideas, feel free to interrupt us anytime. Yes?
I have a question in terms of, are there other teachers or you two the facilitators in terms of like curriculum or how the workshop goes? Is it the two of you or?
And I'm so happy you asked that question. You know, so it has been just Uswege and I should also mention and praise Uswege in the same breath that we piloted these workshops with the help of the Pollination Project almost 2 years ago, and then moving forward beyond 2013. And he's been the one to lead this on the ground in Tanzania ever since. So I've done sort of the executive director things here in the formation of the nonprofit. But he's worked himself, and we've also been really lucky, like I said, to collaborate with other organizations. So these are well-established NGOs that saw the value of our program and offered to both use their resources, their staff, and everything in between in order for it to be provided to their students. So that was really a moment of special credibility for us. And the same thing is happening in a week with this organization, Arizonans for Children in Phoenix. They're offering up some of their staff and their resources, their interns to help us cover it. Moving forward, we have this bigger dream, you know, how do we reach the most amount of students? How do we impact and revolutionize the way students learn in schools and in the community? If we really want to see this make the difference, we think it can. And we would love to see a model where we can collaborate with NGOs and nonprofits all over the world and provide a training to their staff members and to teachers and to peer leaders and student leaders so that they could then provide this content and push it into schools and sort of open source it. So thank you for the question. Yeah.
Another question. I'm just wondering, how do you deal with the sort of pushback from schools that are so based in information, testing, achievement, and really kind of antithetical to everything you're saying? They're not saying information is within students, they're saying information is in books, and if kids are not going to pass those tests, then the stuff doesn't matter. So how do you deal with those? How do you deal with those tensions? How do you work with them? Especially, and then for the kids, I think going back in this profound week, it sounds like a profound week back into those institutions that are not necessarily respecting them on these levels or supporting them.
Yeah, and it's
you work with them.
It's a really good question, and it's certainly, I think, the biggest challenge when you're trying to revolutionize or change something within a system that's been grounded for so long. I wanted to swing it back up to answer the question because, as Julie mentioned at the beginning, for the work that's being done directly with the schools, he's the one who's interacted with the teachers and administrators, and I wouldn't be in my right place to speak about how it's received from that culture and kind of transcends through the culture. So,
Thank you so much. Now, what Adam is trying, what Adam is trying to do, and he has been doing this like since I got here, you know, is to make sure that I suffer as much. I don't know what he's planning. Maybe he don't want me to return back here, you know, because he have all the answers, but he like throw the ball at me. Yeah. So thank you so much for the question, and that is really wonderful. What I can say is that I'm not sure if saying we are very lucky is a good term or not, but most of teachers or school management as one among the biggest tool to boost up accountability among the students. You know, so like, because what we do whenever we like approach a school, you know, we appreciate everything that the school offers.
to the student at their best, you know. But we also explain our model and how it is going to support and complement what they do.
Yeah.
You know, so at the end of this, oh yeah, so these guys are helping us to have the kind of student that we have been envisioning. So like most of the time they will welcome. The only challenge that we always face is that sometimes that time is not enough. You know, so most of the time we would love to have a 2 weeks workshop, you know, like, and we always like to do it consecutively, you know, because the way we take our workshop is that we are dealing with the mind, you know, to like let them like forget, like get interrupted. It's like you are treating someone, you know. So sometimes we say, okay, we only have 3 days. We love the program, but we have only 3 days. So we need to refresh our program to fit into the 3 days, you know. But we're getting a lot of support. Schools will give us the venue, like, okay, that is the room. If you need a projector, we have. This is the projector. If you need like any piece of paper, you know, that teacher is going to help you organize the students. So like, I don't know. I don't know. What I can say is that maybe they also like see the value, and because they are teachers, they love, you know, something good to their students.
To what extent can you train the teachers so that once you leave, even if the week-long program is done, can they then carry on and have like maybe a section that refreshes their recollection about all the principles you're teaching? So throughout the school year and then from then on.
Okay,
You can't be everywhere at once.
Okay, thank you so much. So that is an approach that we have been having from the beginning, Adam and I, that we don't need to train students only. Our plan was to start by training teachers, like what we train students, so that they help to foster, you know, this transformation, you know. But we have been facing like a very big challenge with teachers, you know, creating space for that. You know, so most of the time what we do is we create pre-program assessment, of which are always filled by teachers. Most of the time we have 20 up to 30 students per workshop. We would ask the student to give us teachers who know well about Julie, you know, and we would want that teacher to fill information about Julie, you know. Julie most of the time participate actively in a class. Strong agree, disagree, or this and this. You know, Julie always communicate well with her friends, you know, because of them very well, you know, these students. And we ask the same question to Julie.
About me or about teachers?
About you. The same question that we ask about communication, we ask the same way to see like what rate is Julie going to rate herself and what teacher. And in 6 months, we go back to check if there is any changes. That way we create like this relationship between a student and a teacher. And also it help us to show the teachers what we have been doing with their students, and that make it easy for us to get the feedback. But the real thing that we'd like to do, if possible, is to like make teachers participate in a training. There is only one day when through this other organization I was working with, I did a program on club establishment and management, but the goal of club establishment and management was to achieve everything that we do as an organization. And a few months later, they make a phone call to me that, please, can you come and train our students on 1, 2, 3, 4? And when I trained them, 5 teachers participated, you know, from the start to the end. And they came to me and said, oh my God, we are the one who need to be trained again because we find out like our students are not that active, are not that because we don't teach these things that you have been sharing with them. You know, but it takes like a lot of energy, and I don't know, maybe we don't, so far we don't have good approach to like showing teachers the need to participate, to be trained. But for now, it is very easy for us to make them create space with their students.
Do you pay the teachers? Not those teachers, but if somebody wanted to be a teacher with you, do you have salaries for that or no?
We don't, because we don't have even a salary for ourselves.
Right.
Yeah. So we don't pay anybody. We don't pay ourselves. So far in Tanzania, I have been working with organizations that see the value in what we do as an organization. So like I myself is a woman, you know, because most of the time in the workshop, girls will always want to like match with like, you know, another lady. They wouldn't come to me saying, oh, Uswege, you know, I'm so excited. They will give all the same feedback to the lady, you know, and not me. So it is very important whenever we do the workshop that it is me and someone, you know, who is a woman, you know. Yeah, so that is how we have been doing our workshop. And most of the time kids will come. I have like some notes, I left it in the room, will give us a lot of feedback. One day we did this program and this lady came and like to my co-facilitator telling her, you know, I really love singing and I believe that I can and I do sing well, but I don't have this confidence like you have. You know, can you help me? Like, how can I build this? You know, but she can't tell me something like that. But a lot of boys, they'll come to me. So like it is a very big advantage. And in our workshop, we always balance gender. If we need 30 students, we will need 15 boys, 15 girls. That is what we do. Even like the one that we'll be doing on July, we always balance that. So having both sex is very important. Another question before I move to the impact?
You stressed how you get to know town at the start of the workshops. How do you do that? How do you make it so people feel known at the beginning and so they're willing to be more vulnerable and more open?
Oh, it's a very good question. Thank you. I'm not sure if I have a very good answer for that, but the big thing that I can tell you is that we are young, and so like most of time, like these young people, because of they are young, these students, I think they feel free, you know, like to share, like whatever they want to share with us, you know. And our workshop is based on exercise, like the way we do here, you know. We will explain what we do and ask a student, okay, so what do you expect to learn at the end of this program? They will tell us a lot of things, that this is what they would like to learn. We'll take them through this exercise, and this exercise will make them open up to us. The same way as Adam, like give you an exercise and ask you to share your idea with him, the same thing we do with the students. So as they share idea with us, they build the trust, you know, with us. So next day, then that gap, that war is no longer there. They treat you as your friend and like move on and they make your job easy. Yeah, so it's more about like participatory approach, giving them a lot of exercise that talks about smart. I'm not sure if I answer your question.
You did, yeah.
Thank you. Anybody question? Yes, somebody? Thank you so much. So we are out of time, so I would like to a little quick. We have like I don't know, like 70 minutes left.
10.
10. Okay. So Adam, he did a very good job to show like the network on connection, transformation, and then change. You know, you need to know first what you want to be connected with, or who you want to be connected to, or which thing you need to be connected with, you know. But for you to need to know something, you might need to educate, to train yourself. You know, that is the part of transformation. It's not about fixing your weakness, no. You know, now you already know that, okay, this is what I can do. I need to create a bridge to make it happen out there. And as you take action, you create change. As people say, things change when we do. You know, so like that is what we do. So we teach the first thing about goals and dream, and how to create a relationship based on the kind of person that we would like to become, but at the same time safe to other people, how to communicate in a way that can help you to get to what you want, how to make decisions that are not harmful to you, to your dream, and to other people, how to manage your emotion. Because most of the time we have been losing very good and productive friends who can support us achieve our goal because of lack of our capacity in controlling our emotion. So like that is very big important. But you already give this student this inspiration. Now she or he is having this idea that, okay, I can become this, but they still don't have the confidence. So the part that we do after when we are finishing our workshop, we do community service project part. So we teach a student about community service, and we ask the same question as what Adam asked you. How do you envision your community to look like? You know, for you to be happy, what environment would you like to live in? You know, so like they will write down and they will share those ideas. And we say, can you choose only one idea, create an action plan for it? You know, they will do that, they will create an action plan for that. They are going to implement it in the community. So far, we have two schools that have already done that. They created environment conservation project, and they reached over 600 students. You know, they went there, they like cleaned the environment, but at the same time, they shared some information about, like they do some speeches, they do some show in environment conservation, they donated a trash can so that that school can like be able to conserve the environment. But in the Global Youth Service Day, we had another school that decided to create a project, and like they sent the idea to us, hey, we would like to do this and this and this and this. So we just, under the leadership of their teachers, they implemented a project, you know. And so this project, most of the time, we do it, and it is a very important part of our project, of our program, because of two reasons. One, it gives confidence to the student that it is true, I can do something. You know, because they did it. It's possible to do whatever I want to do, as long as I take action. But secondly, it shows the community that youth can do something. Youth are the source of change. If we can use them very well, we can make a very big difference in the world. You know, something that is very important. Adam, he gave me one big task to share one among our successful story. So for me, one among the story that I'm always proud about is the story of this lady. She's Susanna. When we went to this school, it's called Usaliva Academy, to do the program. This Susanna, she believed that student in the school, you know, but nobody appreciated that. Like nobody like supported her to feel that way. And because of that, she started to fail in class. She started not liking studying anymore, you know, because her motivation for her is driven from someone appreciating, you know what she thinks she's capable of. And so after participating in our workshop, she came to me, she said, I would love to become friend with you. I would like you to be my brother. Like whenever I have a problem, I would like to talk to you because you like help me to like gain this confidence that I can become the kind of person I would like to become. And I asked her, okay, so who would you like to become? She said, oh, I always have a dream to become a doctor. You know, but even at home, at school, nobody think I can become a doctor. You know, there is a lot of notion in a lot of places that women, you know, they are not like that good in science subject, you know, different part, you know. So I think this is one among the things that was facing her. You know, we moved very well, and she keep on like giving me the feedback, and now she did very well. You know, she performed very well in her national exam, and she's studying a combination which will make it possible for a doctor.
Wow.
And so she like make a phone call to me saying, okay, I'm in this school. Can you come to this school, train with the student, and establish RENEW Club? Because in her former school, we established the RENEW Club, and she became the president of that club. You know, yeah. So like, for us, we believe that what we do from what we see works. You know, have fruits, and that is what is moving us forward all the time. So thank you so much for all your attention. And before they sign off, Paul Sana for all of the assignment. I'm so sorry for all the assignment that you did. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nikki. Where are they? Oh, there you are. I just wanted to just take a moment and just really appreciate, as you guys know, the project comes forth, and the Nessels put their house out for us, and Nikki volunteered her time and energy and everything to make this amazing meal. And you know, Uswege and Adam came, and everybody does everything on a volunteer basis. And we just do this as a way of paying it forward. And just kind of, you know, when we were talking about something that Adam Uswege said, I don't know, you guys blend this one. But he said something about, you know, when you want to do the action, what should reflect how you feel, you know, what your purpose is. And I feel like that's kind of what we do with these salons, is we want the world and the community to look like this. Last night when I was talking to, I should probably be right here. Last night when I was talking to Adam and Uswege, I asked them how much it costs to do one of these workshops for one of the kids, like 700 kids or whatever. And they said it was $1,500. And I said, well, you know what, I'm gonna tell the community that we're with that maybe we can raise $1,500 and have another school do this. And he said, oh, if you do that, we're gonna name it the Pollination Project Salon Workshop. And I said, that's amazing. So let's just, I'm totally throwing it out there, and I'm giving it out, and I'm saying, you know, if you have anything, if you want to buy anything, they have t-shirts, they have, you know, purses, they have cash, whatever, I don't know. And I don't know if we'll even come close, but it's just like, it's an offering out there, and it's just a way for, you know, I feel like oftentimes when we see something that's so motivating, or we see a problem and we don't take action, we kind of go home and we feel like this stagnation. And I'm offering a space for people to just come forth and just act on the impulse. Another thing that we can do together is we can, I don't know, give Nikki a tip, give her a hug, like ask her.
I was actually going to say, we can auction some vegetables out there. There's great tomatoes.
Oh, cool.
Take some veggies with them home and give money towards their project.
That's so sweet. And also with you, like if you can help it, you know, approach her if you have any connections or anything like that. She is a chef. Like let's collaborate, let's work together. I know neither of you guys came for this, but I feel like I want to honor your time and your energy. So yeah, that's what I'm offering, and I hope everyone participates. I think Elisa had something.
Yeah, I have a couple announcements and sort of other wrap-up items. One of which is one of those like team challenges. So we'll see if we can do it. We'll have to wait for the end. If you want to give me a credit card to these guys, we have these little forms, and you can just put it on, and we'll run it and get the money to them. So that can happen. We have 2 email lists back here that I want to tell you about. One is for Renew, so if you want to know about their work and stay on their list, there's one back here, really old, this is really highly professional. And one is for a salon email list if you want to be on the list for future ones of these. One is for, oh yeah, no, that's on that. Okay, cool, I know, great minds, okay. I also wanted to let people know, so as you're thinking about, and I do not want this to detract in any way, shape, or form from seeing, I love that challenge to see if we can do a workshop.
I thought it'd be cool. I mean, I think it's like $25 a person or something.
That's really? I'm so behind that.
That's not bad.
So I also wanted to mention, there's a few people in the room. Raise your hand if you're a daily giver to the Pollination Project. Okay, so I've been a daily giver, meaning I give a few dollars a day, every day, to every project we fund. And so just getting really present to listening to them and being like, I have a stake in that. Like, I'm your investor. Yes. I'm so excited by that. So all you daily givers, like, just take a moment, like we did that. So, and if you're interested in that program, ask me. There's some little cards and stuff over here. If you are interested in applying for a grant, we have cards about that. Okay, we're about to give our 1,000th grant. It's called the Visionary Award. You can vote. It's open for voting. There's 4 people from all over the world who are finalists. It's the pollinationproject.org/vote #4 vision, or just go to our website. So vote. We're extending the voting to July 12th, but go and vote. We have almost 4,000 votes in already.
Wow.
Which I'm really excited about. Anybody can drive Joey to San Rafael, please see him. There's a couple cool events happening tomorrow that I want to tell people about. One is Karma Kitchen. Who knows what Karma Kitchen is? Cool, okay. If you wanted, Karma Kitchen is like a pop-up pay-it-forward restaurant in Berkeley that's on the last Sunday of every month. If you want to hear more about it, talk to Bela. Raise your hand, Bela. Tomorrow is also obviously the Pride Parade, and Mercy for Animals has a marching. And if you want to sign up and be in the parade with Mercy for Animals, you can sign up here or talk to Nathan. Steve, are you in the Pride Parade? Or
No,
what?
I'm not.
You have an announcement too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm scratching my head, sorry.
Okay. Also tomorrow, Gary House at 4:00 is a fundraiser for Factory Farm Awareness Coalition, a wonderful organization that drives awareness about factory farming, amazing organization in this home. It might be sold out, I'm not sure. But if you want to know more, Carrie might know something about it, and if she doesn't, she'll figure out who does. So she's very resourceful. Okay, Ari knows all about it. Okay, okay. So then 2 last things. The first is, these guys, their birthday is on July 1st. Yeah. So let's be the first to sing happy birthday to them. Stand up next to them.
Come on, my new brother from another mother.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you.
All I'm gonna do, this is gonna be so meaningful to them, they don't even realize that. we're all gonna get in this little area, and Joey, who is a professional photographer, we are gonna do a group selfie with them together in this section. So that they can have forever this memory of all these people they spoke to tonight in this extremely weird way of doing We're all gonna be here. Joey.
Thank you.